In my clinical experience, I've seen people, including frontline workers, who have encountered traumatic experiences, say that EMDR was like wiping away the negative emotions. I've had a number of sexual abuse survivors move from a place of being the victim to taking back control. They could literally reclaim their power through the EMDR experience. So stay through to the end of this video as I'll cover the most important things that you need to know about what to expect from EMDR. So what exactly is EMDR? Well, it's all in the name. EMDR stands for eye movement, desensitization and reprocessing. It's a therapy that helps reprocess traumatic memories, reducing their emotional charge through eye movements. Although sometimes we do use some tapping and the butterfly hug, especially for those who are the more feeling type of people. So how does this work? There is a lot of evidence showing that it works, but exactly how it works is still theoretical. We know it works, the studies show it works, but what can you really expect from a session? It's important to remember that everyone has a different experience depending on various factors. These may include how ready you are to change, how open you are to change, and how committed you are to moving through the healing process. Many people ask, will I feel different right away? While some do feel immediate relief, like a weight has been lifted off their shoulders, and they can see clearly into their positive future, others may notice changes more gradually. It's important to remember that EMDR is a process, and the results will vary. Another question I get asked is it intense? During the session, your therapist will guide you through specific eye movements or other bilateral stimulation techniques while you focus on the distressing memory. Now, this may sound intense and it can be quite emotional, but it is part of how EMDR helps reprocess the memory. With the right support, people can learn to be with the uncomfortable feelings. And as they do that, the feelings seem to lose their charge. They can look at the memory again without being re-traumatized because they've sat with it, they've worked through it, and they've reprocessed it. You may also be wondering, will EMDR erase my memories? The answer is no. EMDR doesn't erase or directly change your memories. It can change the way you perceive your memories and often helps reduce the emotional intensity associated with them, making them easier to handle. Another common question is, how many sessions will it take? And this depends on the individual and the complexity of the issues being addressed. Some people experience significant improvement in just a few sessions, while others may need more. You would naturally expect more complex issues require more sessions to work through each aspect of the trauma. Can you do it by yourself? Sure. Some smaller issues with minimal emotional disturbance can be done by yourself. However, bigger traumas or long-term deeply held beliefs may require some support. You don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you can't see. We all have blind spots, and working with a therapist can help you uncover those blind spots when working through trauma. For example, I've had clients who experienced the trauma of their parents' divorce. At the time, they might not have fully understood the situation, but the emotional impact was significant. They may have felt abandoned, fearful, uncertain of the future, or even blamed themselves for the split, even if they weren't consciously aware of those feelings. Fast forward to adulthood, they might find themselves struggling with trust issues in their relationships, feeling an overwhelming fear of abandonment, or having deep-seated belief that they are unlovable. They may not connect these feelings and behaviours to their parents' divorce because it's a blind spot in their emotional landscape, and even if they do make that connection, they don't know how to move past it. Working with a therapist is like having someone that can see into those blind spots. It's like having a guide that can show you the way. The therapist can help you uncover how the unresolved trauma from your parents' divorce is influencing your current emotional state and relationships. They might explore patterns of behaviour such as why you push people away when they get too close, or why you have an intense fear of being alone, and shine a light on new ways of being in relationships. Through the EMDR process and with this new knowledge, you can successfully reprogram the old memories from a new perspective. You can understand that it wasn't your fault, know that everything will be okay, and realize that your parents' experience of a failed marriage doesn't need to be your experience of relationships. So perhaps you can see why it can benefit you to work with someone rather than doing it on your own. They will help you to stay grounded, provide helpful insights, and help you manage any intense emotions that arise. Now you may be thinking, what if it doesn't work for me? And it's a valid concern. EMDR is highly effective for many people, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. I believe that everyone gets something from it, even if it's a new insight or a deeper understanding of the trauma or issue. But if EMDR doesn't work for you, there are other therapeutic options available. Perhaps you need to explore other modalities such as hypnotherapy, breathwork, more spiritual avenues, or practices that engage your body, like yoga and exercise. So in summary, you can expect EMDR to help reduce the emotional impact of those traumatic memories, potentially leading to significant relief. But remember, it's a process, and results will vary. Be patient with yourself and just trust the journey.